didn't sound as good as they want to sound.
It's all you, Jay.
All right. Episode 4 of Attention Wrestling Disorder. I'm RJ Show, the whole show and nothing but the show, but I could be the whole nothing too. I totally just failed at doing what I was going to do, but who gives a damn?
We all know
RJ
you're not
Show.
as much of a fail as Mr. Hot Rod 521 over here. Man, shoot, John
Stop
Cena is
hating.
awesome.
Stop hating. Don't hate on the champ.
Chuck, Rod. You're a pain. Chuck, I got a bone to pick with you. You really pissed me off.
What I do.
So
I'm good at this. Just tell me what I did.
This is your fault, man. I wouldn't say you pissed me off, but yeah. So you mentioned we were talking about New Japan Wrestling Kingdom, and and I asked you like, okay, what's a good one? And you said the Wrestle Kingdom with Finn Balor, because I wanted to see something with Finn Balor, with Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, when he came out with, I don't know the other guy's name, but to You're the Best by Joe Esposito. Because of you, that goddamn song's been in my head all week, and I was now tempted to listen to a live version of it, and all I've been hearing in my head for the past 3 days, you're the best around.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. It's right on this Blu-ray. I can even play it for you right now. I'll redirect it.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna
in my damn head, man, because of you.
But here's the kicker about the entrance. If you actually watch it, I couldn't. It might. I don't know.
Which Wrestle Kingdom is it? Because I do.
Wrestle Kingdom 6. It was 2012. It was 6, I believe. I believe it was 6. So it was. They enter in. They come out with like full-blown astronaut attire, and that song.
Not only that, but I was watching like this reunion special that Josh Gad did, and they had Esposito at the end singing the song. He actually sounds good.
That's a great song. That's a classic tune.
My kid actually likes it. It was weird. I thought I'd play it to annoy her, and she's like, "Daddy, you're not annoying me. I actually think the song's cool." I'm like, "Okay."
This reminds me of the summer and the year that I tortured my sister-in-law with the song 8675309 by Tommy Two-Tone.
Oh my God.
I actually like that song.
Why can I definitely see you doing that?
Because what am I, Rod?
You're a degenerate.
So funny story, Rod. I'm really telling you. We're going to touch on.
I joined the degenerate club for like a day.
You're still part of the degenerate club, Jay. You're still in.
I wanted to be in the degenerate club. Damn it!
And you are in.
Oh yeah, you in. Yeah, don't trust it. Once you're in, it's hard to get out.
So like 2 summers ago, Rod, I did sound for Archive at a gig. Or no, I went to go see them play. I didn't do sound at that gig, but I went to the gig to hang out with Brendan and everybody.
What's
and
Archive?
Of course, Archive starts doing 8675309. Guess what my degenerate ass started doing?
Oh my God.
Immediately recorded a video and sent it to my sister-in-law.
Oh my God.
Would you expect any less from me?
Oh, absolutely.
Is Archives like a cover band or something?
It was a cover band. They're still active. Chris is not in it anymore, but they're still a thing. I think right now they're, in between stuff. It's, COVID time, so I'm not sure what their full status is, but I know they're still a group.
Yeah.
They're like, they did a lot of like 80s arena rock and then some like 90s pop-ish stuff. It was an older group. It was Chris's uncle's band. They do a lot of like a lot of Ozzy and like Skid Row and stuff.
Go wrong with Ozzy. 18 in life you got it, because he said Skid Row. Anyway, and I'm not trying to sing here. So whatever. I can actually sing. I just choose to sing like crap. But anyway, so we're here to talk about underutilized talent for this week's Attention Wrestling Disorder. And you said you had a lot on your mind, so why don't you kick it off?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. So I'm gonna go right into it, and I didn't speak to either of you about this prior to this because I literally just read an article about this today.
Yeah.
And it's 2 people I really wanted to touch on that I'm hearing some heavy rumor mills about. Again, these are not spoilers; these are rumor mills. These could be wrong as shit. They could be spot on.
It's always a rumor until it happens. So
touche. Okay, touche. So the 2 people I really wanted to touch on personally were Nakamura and Cesaro. They are 2 of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. They are phenomenal. They're a great team. They do everything in up until recently, they weren't doing next to shit with them until like
draft, basically.
Since the draft. But even like before that, like they weren't really doing it. They were kind of coasting with them. But
I think that's always been the case with Cesaro anyway. They like have him for a stint. He's on top, then he's at the bottom, then he's back.
And the tag team. They pigeonhole him the tag teams. But what I read was the big rumor mill is that Nakamura might be the pick to win the Rumble and get a major face run. They're trying.
Well, he already started with the face run, thanks to in the what do you call it, the melee or whatever.
Well, yeah, but they're building on it. They're trying to do what they tried to do 3 years ago, but they're trying to fix where they went wrong with it 3 years ago, and they're trying to do
heel for way too long.
Yeah, the thing with him was like he's a good heel, but he's not like. It didn't really have luster after a while. They didn't know what to do with him.
I think a lot of people's main issues with Nakamura has been his lackluster title runs.
I mean, that's true. But he never won the main one, which we knew it wasn't going to happen, but that's okay. But I heard that there's a rumor that they're going to push him possibly to win the Rumble and face Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania. Within that, though,
you don't think it's going to be Bryan because the way they've been.
Those are the top two picks.
That's another rumor, but I'm saying what I read. Again, these are rumors only. No, we're going to put it with the rumor.
Like if I had to, what's the name? My big three, like top three SmackDown picks, it'd be Nakamura, Daniel Bryan, Big E. My top three SmackDown picks, because I'm hearing a lot of Big E too.
Yeah,
you know
I can
I
see
would pick.
Who are
I
you
picked
gonna
those two. And Cesaro, it's his time, damn it.
It's his time, but that's where I was actually going to go with that article. They're also saying that they're going to start pushing Cesaro. I think what they're ultimately leaning towards is rumor that they're going to give Cesaro a massive push as well, where he's going to get a massive heel run. So obviously Cesaro is going to turn on Nakamura, and either it's going to be for WrestleMania Nakamura winning and facing Roman Reigns, or they could go the other way and have a big Cesaro Nakamura match at Mania. Again, these are all rumors. This is what they're reporting. I don't know.
It's so predictable, though, the way they showed it the other night. Oh, he's my friend. I thought he was going to turn on him.
Of course, when he was WWE writing
during the match.
9 out of 10 times, WWE writing is painfully predictable. There was like a year straight where I watched the pay-per-views, like I'd be like watching them, and I called every freaking finish on the card. And I used to get angry at it. There was like 3 years ago when I was mad at the product. I was calling every finish. I'm like, watch, he's going to double cross him. Oh, there's a double cross. And it was like clockwork. I mean, they've gotten a little bit better, but they go back to that predictability, and especially around this time.
They swerved me because I actually thought they were going to go with Pierce because they're bringing Goldberg back. So I thought they'd bring Pierce in, like two older dudes who were in the business, and I thought Pierce was actually going to main event the pay-per-view. I thought he was actually going to wrestle, but they fooled us all. And Owens Reigns 55. Yeah, let's watch that for the 18 billionth time.
It's good, but again, it's like every other Royal Rumble title match. It doesn't mean anything. It's going to end the feud. Whoever wins the Rumble, that's the feud that's going to happen going forward. Because let's call it now. We can all agree that almost guaranteed that a SmackDown guy is going to win the Rumble. Who on Raw? Who the fuck on Raw is going to win that Rumble right now?
We don't got none.
Orton.
No, he knows what I was saying.
No,
we don't want none. We don't want none.
That's the only guy.
AJ.
But he's the only guy that could possibly. What's the
AJ
name?
would be great to win it, but like other than that, who? There isn't anybody.
I mean, you could throw in Keith Lee's name in there.
T-Bar. What?
T-Bar. I like it.
Okay. Yeah. After some of his comments, yeah, he'll be lucky if he's in the Rumble.
Wasn't he defending? Didn't he make comments?
Lashley's the top pick to win the Rumble.
Oh, for fantasy reasons, you would love that.
Comments, but weren't those?
Oh,
comments
yeah, that'd be great for fantasy wise, but All right. No, the comment about when he brought up the whole Sammy Guevara rape joke thing.
I don't even know what's that. I don't even know what that. I thought I was talking about something else. What is this?
There was some Twitter war between the guy from Retribution and Sammy Guevara, and they're both salty as hell, and it's fucking hilarious.
When you say the guy from Retribution, you mean
T-Bar.
Dominic Dijakovic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not forget who T-Bar actually is.
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Because he was a
Incredible.
lot better
I
as
think the
Dijakovic.
whole world.
I mean,
at
if
this
you
point
really
doesn't
want to
know
go
who
on
he
that
is.
respect, then why don't we just call him Donovan Dijak, which is his Ring of Honor name, which is where he was
Yeah.
awesome.
Seems like half
Top
of the
prospect winner.
WWE. Sorry, go ahead. But half of the WWE roster seems to be ROH guys. Go ahead, Rod.
But that's been like that for years.
Say, he was a top prospect winner.
Yes, he was. But again, I've been saying this for years. I love Ring of Honor, but the problem with Ring of Honor is it's forever going to be a breeding ground to WWE and AEW and New Japan to a lesser point. That's what Ring of Honor does. It's a glorified indie. It's a breeding ground for the bigger promotions.
And they have some good. I mean, I really feel that Lethal is an ROH stay because that's the company that made him the face of the company.
That's one guy that Impact definitely dropped the ball on. After what Ring of Honor's done with Lethal, that's one guy Impact definitely dropped the ball on was Lethal.
Impact has dropped the ball on a lot of things, Rod.
Oh, you can say that about a lot of companies, but we won't go there.
Rod, he's got a point. Dixie Carter did screw up a lot of things within the TNA.
Oh, yes.
It was not just her. I mean, there were so many bad management decisions.
We all know
it was. Roster.
We all know Impact was ready to compete with Raw on Monday nights in 2010.
I actually was watching it back and forth that night because I wanted to see.
The problem was with that. The problem was the WWE. They was getting way too much mainstream publicity from all those celebrity guest hosts. That was a bad idea.
WWE still gets traction. AEW will never compete either.
Yeah, no.
Let's not get started on one of those celebrity hosts.
But that's why it was a bad idea, though, because it was getting on that mainstream publicity from that. That's why it was a bad idea.
Yeah. All those great celebrity guest hosts, let me tell you.
Well, Seth Green was actually one of the good ones.
So was Bob Barker. Bob Barker was the best one.
Really
Bob Barker was great. Bob Barker was actually great.
Some of them were funny, some of them were stupid.
Oh, you mean like Summerfest? Jeremy Pivens?
Oh, God.
Summerfest?
Oh, God.
Yeah. And Dr. Ken? What the hell was that?
You mean the judge on all the masked shows now?
Yeah. I mean the guy who's a comedian shouldn't be in the wrestling ring, and the guy who is great in PCU shouldn't have been a host of
even though PCU was a great movie.
PCU was an amazing movie. Jeremy Pivens is a great actor.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been on Raw though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say like the legitimate fans, again, Seth Green is a legitimate WWE
fans
fan.
Add to the business. Like when Jon Stewart even cost what's his face in that match. That was great.
I was so mad when he cost, let's call them what they are now, the Good Brothers, the titles into the New Day. I was really mad.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all part of the show, but I'm allowed to be mad. I'm a fan. I'm gonna mark out.
Yeah,
I don't care.
We're all mad all the time. I can get Rod mad really quick. New Day Stale.
I'll do it with you. New Day Stale. I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kofi. They might even find out if he's legit. Like, does he legit have that broken jaw, or
I don't know.
What? Wait, what?
Kofi supposedly has a broken jaw. That's why he wasn't out there Monday.
Did Kyle O'Reilly actually get a broken jaw from the second match, or was that just part of the whole thing?
No, I think he sold his jaw, but it wasn't broken. Finn Balor's jaw actually was broken.
Yeah, that was legit.
Like that was legit, broken jaw. Like O'Reilly fucked his jaw up big time.
It's too bad that. Well, I guess maybe it's too soon. Who knows? But I would love to see O'Reilly, get the title.
Me too.
Why not?
I think he deserves it. I think he's finally getting his due diligence. He was a guy I would have said for what he was underutilized for a while because unfortunately for the WWE model, Bobby Fish has become another one who's become too injury prone for that product.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And it sucks because
this
Bobby Fish is
this
phenomenal.
Just, yeah, no, and this is just on NXT. So matches was gonna happen when he has to wrestle a full-time schedule once everything goes back to normal.
Well, it's the problems that Kenta had in NXT.
Roddy got a push too for a while in the North American as the North American champion, but it's like he's kind of it's like now they pushed Kyle to the front, Kyle O'Reilly to the front.
Because Kyle's the young one. They want to push the younger ones. Like Bobby Fish is in his 40s already. Roderick Strong is going to be 40 this year. So like they're not pushing these older talents. They're trying to push the younger guys as the focal guys. That's probably the only reason. Not that Roderick Strong can't go, because Roderick Strong is phenomenal and has some of the best matches in NXT. But
do you know what Roderick Strong is responsible for?
Enlighten me.
The Messiah, the Backbreaker.
It's way before that though. He kind of helped someone's career without even realizing it. Molly Holly was at whatever name it was at a show. She saw him wrestle when he was a kid, and she saw a finisher that he did, which she told Victoria about, and that became.
Oh, I heard about this actually. I
inspired Victoria's finisher.
Oh wow! Yeah, actually, I actually heard about that. Actually,
it was on Chris Van Vliet's interview
with Victoria.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yes, he did. She did mention that. I listened to that last week. That was a good one.
Yeah. So I mean,
I try to listen to that stuff as best I can, but I suck at keeping up with things.
You know, I mean, it's good to listen to all these things because you get to learn more about the people, and it's legit. It's not like what you're listening to on a dirt sheet or whatever. It's so like that's why I always want to make. That's why I always want to make sure, like, the stuff we read, is it credible? And I subscribe to a newsletter that someone turned me on to, but I often wonder, is this credible?
There are a few sites that I look at, and majority of the time what they report are credible. Right. That's why even the site that I read, the Nakamura thing, that there could be some weight to it. It could be hearsay, but I'm excited to see if they actually push Nakamura and Cesaro over the next year. Apparently there was, what I was reading, there was a big backstage like discussion survey about them. And they were like they were asking like in the SmackDown locker room who the two most underutilized guys were, and everybody like unanimously agreed that it was Nakamura and Cesaro, like bar none.
Cesaro, you don't think that like Gable would be underutilized?
He's another one.
Chad Gable's very underutilized. Chad Gable has become what Tyson Kidd was before he got injured and had to retire.
Oh, let's not forget Gulak. Gulak is like majorly.
Oh, they're killing him now. He's a fucking. They had him actually doing some good stuff with Daniel Bryan, and then they moved him over to Raw, and now he's a big fucking stupid joke fighting for the 24/7 title, and it sucks.
What was he? What promotion was he in before WWE? Because he was like an indie star.
He was what was he?
Was he Evolve or Ring of Honor?
I don't think he was in Ring of Honor. I think he did some Evolve stuff, but he did something else too. I want to say he did like.
Oh no, he did do Evolve because remember when he was in the Fest anniversary, whatever it was.
I think he did some Progress too. Actually, I'm not. I think he did some European stuff. I'm pretty sure he did some Progress too. I gotta look into that. I know he did Evolve. He might have done. Oh, you know what else? I think he did Pro Wrestling Guerrilla too at one point. I think he was PWG at one point too.
I mean, let's talk about underutilized who are now utilized in other places. Let's talk about the match the other night on Hard to Kill. Deonna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if anybody else caught this or not. After the match, did you hear the way Stryker was talking about Taya Valkyrie? The way he was talking about her, it sounds like she's on her way out.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, John Morrison's in WWE. I'm surprised John Morrison hasn't convinced her to go already. Maybe she had contractual obligations. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. She'll probably go to WWE and she'll probably do something with
stuff. She do well there, though?
I don't know. I mean, John Morrison's doing. I mean, Let me tell you, John Morrison's doing great in WWE right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh
He was like, when he first came back, it was all about him, and then now he's like second fiddle to the Miz.
He's been second fiddle to the Miz for like 10 years. I don't know where you guys have been the last 10 years. I've been saying that for 10 years. He's been second fiddle to Miz.
John Morrison is great
Johnny
on
Jannetty.
And
Johnny
yet,
Jannetty.
in Impact, in Lucha Underground, he's a rising star. But you bring him back to
he
WWE.
apparently had a good run AAA too. When he was doing Lucha Underground, he was in AAA too.
That's where he met Taya. That's where he met his wife.
Yeah, and AAA is where he was on top of the card. And then that's how they wound up at Impact, and that's
And then Deonna Purrazzo, they basically made her like enhancement, a jobber. They didn't take her seriously.
She had that one match on Raw against Nia Jax.
And they
then,
destroyed her.
2 weeks after that, she got released.
Well, here's the thing I read a thing about her too. Apparently, behind the scenes, they didn't understand the Virtuosa character.
They didn't.
And they felt that she wasn't TV ready as Deonna Purrazzo. This is WWE. God, were they wrong.
Tell me about
it. That's one thing where WWE missed the mark. You know who else? You want to go a little like earlier back with that same concept, who's killing it where he is now? Juice fucking Robinson.
Yeah. CJ fucking Parker, Juice Robinson. Robinson. How come we haven't seen Juice a lot lately?
He's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. Okay. He got injured in that match.
Yeah,
in the G1 match?
Yeah. No, in the World Tag League. He got injured. Yeah, the World Tag League, because he was in World Tag League too. So yeah, World Tag League, he got injured like right before like the holidays.
It just goes to show you like that, those who get ignored in WWE end up doing better outside. I mean, hell, Eric Young was TNA's golden boy for a while. He goes to NXT, has a decent run in Sanity, and then he's dog shit.
They don't know how to. They know how to use them. So
I could say one name right now that tops all those names you just mentioned. Rich Swann.
Rich Swann.
Yeah, but
you think Rich Swann would have ever seen a main event on a WWE?
Wasn't there controversy with Rich Swann and Su Yung?
Yeah, there was. But you can say the same about Austin though. How many times has Austin been accused of beating his wife? So,
but no was that BS though?
Huh?
Was that BS and just like turn? Was that all just social media bullshit?
No, apparently that was that's why Swann got let go by WWE was because of that.
But was it legit?
I will hope so. I mean, like if he sucks to release a guy because of something you heard over the once, and then since we're on that subject, I'm going to say this right now.
Enzo, dude,
I get tired of people saying this. Enzo Amore did not get fired because he may or may not rape that girl. He got fired because he didn't tell the company he was being accused of it.
Yeah, I know that.
He kept it under wraps when he shouldn't have.
Exactly. That's why he got fired.
It would have blown up in his face anyway because fucking WWE hears about this shit all the time. When that shit circulates, WWE is like right on it. Like these companies, any of them, any of these companies, they don't fuck around with this stuff. They don't fuck around. Like if there's allegations against their talent, they're right on it. The second, people are blaming Jack Gallagher for that. They proved all that. Jack Gallagher was shit can.
Well, he admitted it. So also,
I mean, and he is married. And Rich Swann, is he actually married to Su Yung?
Yeah, they're married.
Rumor too?
No, they're legit married.
Okay.
It was when Marty Scurll had his shit against him, and it cost him his relationship. Speaking of an underused talent, Deonna Purrazzo, because they were dating.
Yeah, we're talking
and
about.
Now she's dating Steve Cutler.
I know, that's so weird.
Hey, good for Steve Cutler.
Yeah, right? Good for him, definitely. But
good for Steve Cutler.
but yeah, Rich Swann, I agree with you. He's doing very well, but I don't know. I just don't feel him as the champ. I don't know.
I'm not into him as a champ either. No, actually, my favorite thing I've seen Rich Swann do was a while back when I was watching MLW a little more consistently. He was working as a heel in MLW, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a heel, and he was actually believably good at it.
The thing I like about Swann though is like You know, it's been a long time since Impact has had a really, really charismatic champion. He's like the most charismatic champion they've had in a while.
I couldn't even tell you.
He's charismatic, but I don't
Impact
know, man.
sucks.
I mean,
I don't
he's not
buy
gonna
him
go out
as the champ.
there and put like on like no 5-star classic, but for his moveset and his charisma, he draws.
He's an entertainment character. He's a showman. He's an entertainer more than he's a
And
wrestler.
I don't buy it though. I mean, you guys can say all you want, but for me, I just don't buy it.
I'm not crazy about Rich Swann either. I'm just saying for what he is, he's more of an entertainer than a wrestler. He can wrestle. He's not bad in the ring. That's what I'm saying.
He showed how good he wasn't hard to kill. I agree.
He's more of an entertainer than a wrestler. Some talents are entertainers before they're wrestlers. Look at the Miz. Going back to Miz, he's an entertainer more than he's a wrestler.
He's more entertainer than wrestler.
But WWE, but that's what WWE tailors. That's what they tailor. I mean, I know like Rich Swann didn't work there, and he's doing great in Impact. But Impact's another company, which is cool. We were having the conversation before, Jay, about Hawkins and Ryder with Impact, and how even Hawkins and Ryder are guys that were painfully underutilized in WWE, and they were entertainers more than they were wrestlers. That's what they wanted.
I'd say Cardona was more the entertainer than
Myers.
Than Myers. I think Myers
might have been a better wrestler. Cardona was the better
entertainer. I would say for what they were.
Get on.
Myers is one of the best hands in modern wrestling. Let me ask you a question. He had a 200 match losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking made every fucking wrestler look like a champ in those matches.
You know he wanted that, right?
Of course he wanted that.
He was the one who he could have. They wanted to push him on Heath Slater or on Main Event, and he said no. I want to keep this thing going.
Because it hit a point where it was literally the polar opposite of what the Undertaker had at WrestleMania, where it started out as just we had a losing streak. It's
right.
Like it's been extended. And then Hawkins like, no, run with this. It's getting me. He even said it in an interview himself. He goes, I'm getting better attention and press losing matches than when I win one. Because he said it's like, because that's the psychology of wrestling. The second you lose, you lose, you lose. The second you win the big one, it makes it mean that much more. That's why that tag title win so much when they won those belts, because he went from like 300 losses to I'm a champ now.
Plus doing it in literal in just about your own backyard doesn't hurt either.
Well, that's the thing. When I've noticed with WWE, when they have
guys, it wasn't his own backyard. Why does everyone say that? He won in New Jersey. He lived in Long Island.
Okay, it was New York, New Jersey.
Okay, I get what he's saying. What he means is WWE has this thing where they have talent who live in the tri-state area.
I know.
When they work the tri-state area, they fucking put them over. It's a weird thing.
That.
They've always done it. That's why they say it.
No, but it's just funny that
I know. I agree.
That they called it, and they kept referring to that match, New York. It's in New Jersey.
New Jersey, New York, same shit.
WWE kept saying New York. It's not New York. And that whole thing, WrestleMania 19, whatever that Elias 2019, whatever number WrestleMania it was, Elias did the whole promo in New York City before,
right.
But the WrestleMania was in New Jersey.
It was WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like being literal Jay right now, but whatever.
Literal Jay. I'm going to use that from now on.
I kind of ripped off Jim Norton when he had the character in Opie and Anthony. They'd call him Literal Jim.
Oh, jeez.
So I kind of just took that from him, but whatever.
It happens.
Anyway, Literal Jay, literal who gives a fuck. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Carry on. That totally threw me off horribly. I lost my entire train of thought on that.
I do that though. That's
you're really good at that. You throw me off horribly on life, dude.
Yeah, but we still we're discussing the over underutilized. Another female, I could definitely say WWE dropped the ball on, and she just had that epic freaking NWA Women's Title match Wednesday. It's Ty Conti.
Serena Deeb
or Ty Conti, either one of them.
Oh, Ty Conti, yeah.
Both of them. Well, if you think about it, both of them were painfully underutilized. I mean, yeah, Deeb had her diligence with Straight Edge Society, but once that angle ran,
but you know what? Like the thing was like with Deeb, like the women's division was exactly nowhere near as good as it is now. Like they didn't really care back in the early
but they could have
decades.
like I get you and I agree with you, but I think like looking back on it, where they were going, they so had a solid foundation with her though. If they had wanted to go that way earlier, the problem is
No, they did, but they didn't.
was
It was still
mistimed.
about the it was still about the
It was a
bronze
mistimed
annual
run.
matches.
Serena Deeb's WWE run was a mistimed run for what she is. Now she'd be great there, but AEW gave her the deal she wants.
I mean, she is like really killing it in AEW.
Yeah, and she's got the NWA title. Eventually, she's going to drop it back probably because she signed with AEW. But
I mean, it's good because right now it's not like they're not even doing shows right now, and that was the main reason why I didn't draft no NWA guys in the fantasy draft was because they haven't even done a show this year yet. They're the only company out of all the companies that we cover that hasn't done a show yet.
Well, I heard they're bringing Power back sometime this year. I don't know when or what the deal is, but I know they're bringing that back.
Wasn't Rod the one who originally said that? Or
no, I think I said that. I read an article because Nick Aldis said something that they're bringing back Power. Whatever Shockwave was, it was a short thing, but they're doing a full.
I think Shockwave was just to show off all the NWA matches that was on the UPN.
The UWN, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is on the UWN? Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Oh my God, is that garbage? That was so. Oh man, dude.
You know who I have? But you know who I have seen on that thing before? Brian Idol.
Limelight was on it. Who?
Brian Idol was on it a couple times.
Oh my
God!
I've seen Idol on there a couple times.
Wow.
Seen Idol on there a couple times. I also saw him on Evolve though.
So.
But Brian Idol's also been on Evolve. He was on a few matches.
I know.
A lot of stuff with Idol. The old Earl Cooter, aka also the old sound guy from Village Pub South that I had to watch Adam the Jester Kaplan argue with over a sound check. Funniest thing I ever heard in my entire life.
He, as awesome as Brian Idol is, and that he sometimes walked out during the middle of a sound, of a band play, and I'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
I didn't know him enough to judge that. I just remember that one incident. I wasn't even mad. It was just funny.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
I know. I was more poking fun at Adam for being Adam about it. Yeah. Because that's.
But no, in all seriousness, I mean, Brian's a good dude, and he's been wrestling for many years. He has his own promotion, FTW.
Was that his full promotion now?
Yeah, that was his.
I didn't know it was his entirely. I thought he had other people.
I mean, I think him and his brother run it together. I don't know all the parties involved in it, but he's one of the major ones, one of the main guys.
Got you. Because I remember the time that the second time I met him was a show out in Ronkonkoma at Fifth Avenue Arena where they were doing the FTW wrestlings at the time. Because Dust Comes Calling opened for a Farewell Fire that night, and he ran out, and during a Farewell Fire set, him and some random guy had a match during their set. It was kind of wild. It's like 2007.
I've seen him in the ring. He's good. He knows.
He's got some moves. He's got some talent. He's got talents. I'm a Brian Idol guy.
I saw an FTW show like at VFW Hall or some out east when Altamont played it a long time ago. But
good old days.
Let's get. But yeah, but.
Let's not ADD too much. Let's not attention wrestling disorder too much, guys. Let's be serious here.
Definitely, you're right though with Tay Conte. Okay, I'm interrupt. Go ahead.
It's not wrestling.
Who are you trying to be?
Kevin Dunn.
Oh my God.
Kevin Dunn is so annoying.
Jay, I find you tiresome.
I was thinking of Kevin.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just kidding, Jay.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
So apparently there was a
I'm babbling too much to even understand what you're doing because I'm babbling like an idiot. But that's what
no, you're fine. No, so the impersonation was apparently on a shoot interview years ago. Jim Cornette was discussing summer '97 where they went to Halifax, Nova Scotia for a Raw taping, and how awful and miserable it was. And how he made Kevin Dunn cry at a production meeting, basically.
Oh my God.
So, speaking of underutilized talent for the heyday, years ago, the Patriot. Remember the Patriot, Del Wilkes?
What was his name? Dale what?
Del Wilkes.
Del Wilkes, yeah.
So at the time, this was when they were brought the Patriot in. He was like they wanted to push him as a top babyface because they had the whole Canada America thing at the time because Brett was super babyface in Canada and super heel in America, and they wanted a new top babyface. So the Patriot kind of fit that role, but they booed the shit out of him in Canada type of thing. So they were in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and because the way that the flights were at the time to save money, they went like 2 days early to for this like taping because they saved a ton of money on it. So they were like cooped up in this like hotel in Halifax, and there's like nothing to do in Halifax except for fish or hunt. It's just very like woodsy and like so, and it's also apparently an hour ahead of Eastern time, so they're an hour ahead of us.
What am I humming, by the way?
I didn't even know what you were humming.
The old Kurt Angle Patriot theme.
Yeah, he had it first. No, he had it first.
Yes,
he did. That's what I'm saying. He did.
He did. So going back to the story. So apparently, in this, they had a production meeting leading into Raw, and they were discussing different things. So the subject of the Patriot came up, and the way it was booked. It was like Patriots like second week in the company. And they were going to just shit on him in Canada because they were in Nova Scotia, so they were in Canada, so they were going to shit on him. And Jim Cornette was getting pissed off in the production meeting. He's like, why the fuck are we going to bury this new top babyface in Canada and make him look like shit when he just debuted? Or is it the idea when you debut a guy to make him look strong and look badass? So they keep refuting it. They keep refuting it because apparently Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn and whoever else were in that production, and Bruce Pritchard and all them, they were all enamored with Sable at this point, and they were all like, this is when Mark Merrow was injured, so they were doing those stupid T-shirt spots with Sable. I don't know if you remember those Raw segments back in the day where they would.
You mean the one responsible for ruining the women's division? What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So every time they would push for that, Jim Cornette would keep going back to, what about the Patriot? Why are we doing this? And Kevin Dunn just goes, get out, Jim. I find you tiresome. So apparently, like, Jim Cornette like flipped out on him and called him a Bucky Beaver dipshit, and he's gonna like pull him by his tie and throw him across the room. And of course, they all thought it was a rib, so they all laughed. But apparently, Jim Ross knew that it wasn't a joke. So like, Jim Ross just sat there quiet, like, you didn't want to piss him off, Kevin, kind of thing. So then it was one of those like, Vince was like, you got Jim, you got to apologize to Kevin. He's a big part of the team. He's got a job for life. The whole thing. He's like my right hand guy, type of thing. So Jim Cornette, goes to apologize, and Kevin Dunn starts crying like a girl, like, they made fun of me for my teeth growing up, like just some shit like that. And apparently that was the story. Yeah, that apparently Kevin Dunn cried when Jim Cornette tried to apologize to him.
But there's one thing, though. Do you know why that the Patriot why a face is supposed to look bad in Canada? Because the whole thing is, the whole angle was Bret Hart is supposed to be the hero outside of America when he was the heel. That was the whole thing. In Canada, he's the hero. He's the face.
Right, and maybe the Patriot got
the whole
booed.
Gimmick.
Well, yeah, of course, and that was what they were trying to do, and Jim Cornette kept refuting it. But that was I agree with you. I'm saying, but from like a booking standpoint, Jim Cornette disagreed with it. Whether or not he was right or wrong is whatever. But I'm just saying that was his argument.
I mean, I thought me personally, that was a great move for. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of cool because like, here's this dude. We're supposed to hate him because he's now having a shit fit, and remember, whatever Bret was doing as a heel.
Yeah.
That whole thing with the Hart Foundation, but in Canada, he's loved outside of America because that was the whole thing. He was there. We're supposed to hate him in America. That was the whole thing.
And just so we're all clear, that Survivor Series that year was Rod's favorite Survivor Series of all time.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
Oh man, and hell, I was even pissed because to this day, I'm a big Hart fan. I love Bret Hart, whether he's a face, a heel.
Shawn Michaels deserved to win.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
We all know that Shawn Michaels is a better talent than Bret Hart.
No, he's not.
He's a better wrestler.
No, he's not.
He's a better showman.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I actually have to go with
bigger ass kisser. That's
You're
about
both
it.
wrong. You just are.
Oh no,
Bret Hart
Shawn
was
Michaels
overrated
back
for what he
then.
Yeah, okay.
He's a
Shawn
typical Canadian.
Michaels
He's
back
dry.
then.
His gimmick
Dude.
was dry. Everything about him was dry.
Yeah,
They
okay.
really, you know where they
Don't
went
listen
wrong
to
with
Chuck.
Bret Hart?
Chuck's a degenerate. Do not listen to Chuck.
You know where they went wrong with Bret Hart? They didn't leave him with the cowboy gimmick in 1986.
Oh my god, you're such a degenerate.
Cowboy Bret. I remember that too.
You are such a degenerate, I swear.
Truth hurts.
No. You're right. The truth like you be the degenerate, you're right.
No, that Bret Hart should have stayed cowboy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, who said that? That was Wahoo McDonald, right?
Something
Or
like
Chief
that.
J Strongbow. Chief J Strongbow was the one who wanted to make him.
I remember they
Cowboy.
also tried to make
I think it
Jericho's
was
first gimmick a
Strongbow.
cowboy.
Yeah, it was Strongbow.
They
But
tried to do that
remember
with
that.
Jericho too.
Yeah, because I think that was when Strongbow was an agent in like the mid '80s. I think that was Strongbow's era of agenting. So yeah, probably sounds about right.
Jericho was going to be a cowboy. What in WCW?
No, that was when he first graduated from the Heart. That was the first gimmick they were trying to give was a cowboy.
Oh,
Who, Jericho?
Yeah.
yeah, that's what Rod was saying.
I mean, I
Like when
do
he
love the Thrill
first,
Seekers,
like
I gotta
before
tell
him
you.
and right before him and Storm became the Thrill Seekers. That was
a great tag team. Very underrated tag team.
And the story about Jim Cornette getting pissed off when Jericho broke his arm.
Oh man.
But
Speaking of underutilized, Chris Jericho in WCW. Yikes.
yeah,
oh yeah.
Speaking of underutilized.
We
I
could
mean,
do a whole.
he could have had a really good
That could be a whole
run with
show in
Goldberg
itself.
when he turned it down.
What happened?
We could do like a whole 3 episodes on that subject alone. WCW underutilized talents.
Tell
Rey
me about
Mysterio.
it. I mean, Guerrero, Malenko.
Oh, Malenko was underutilized everywhere he went, except for Japan
Yeah.
and ECW.
WWE too.
I mean, some people even say
Dean Malenko is one of my favorite wrestlers ever.
Man of 1,000 homes.
depending on how you look at it, he was a world champion if you want to count that night.
Who, Benoit?
Yeah.
Oh, WCW?
Yeah.
Speaking of
Did he
Benoit, though,
leave
I have
as
to
the
say something.
WCW champion.
He was his last night before he released. He left. Yeah, he won the belt from Sid, but then they twisted it in storyline that his foot was under the rope, but it was a bad call. But he legitimately won the belt then.
Yeah, which technically it was, his foot was, so it wasn't like they made that up, but still, you know how many screw jobs you had in professional wrestling. That might have been one of the few times I actually seen like a title change, once they get reversed over that.
Yeah.
He was in Shane whatchamacallit stable. What's it? Shane
Revolution.
Douglas stable. Yeah, Revolution.
It was Asia was up in there too for a little bit.
Benoit backed out though because they turned heel and Benoit wasn't with them or something.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, speaking of Benoit and that whole thing, like random, and I kind of see the same person the same night I see Benoit. Phil Spector died yesterday.
Oh wow.
Music producer.
Oh.
So
I know who Phil Spector is.
Damn.
Yeah, he died apparently. COVID complications. He was 81 years old. But it's different than Benoit, but I compare it because like obviously Phil Spector was in jail for murder, and like you're disgusted by him as a person for murdering somebody, but there's the other side of you that like has to commend him for his creative genius in music.
That was like a tough one. Like with
the tough one with
Benoit
Benoit too. It's
because,
like do you frown upon him for the last 24 hours of his life? Or do you also praise him congruently with the amazing 20 years he put into the sport of wrestling, and he had a great career?
It's like there's Benoit the wrestler, then there's Benoit the despicable, evil human being.
Right, exactly. And the same thing.
And on that subject, you got people who still believe it was Sullivan who actually did it. So that depends on who you ask about that.
You know what? After watching The Dark Side of the Ring and actually listening to shoots about Kevin Sullivan, I don't think that Kevin Sullivan liked Chris Benoit, but I also don't think that Kevin Sullivan hated Chris Benoit as much as people thought he did. I think, unfortunately,
like a Satanic cult or something like that. They said.
What happened?
Like, wasn't like Sullivan legit part of like a Satanic cult or something like that?
No, that was all bullshit. Also,
no, I'm not talking about like the whole Dungeon of Doom. I'm talking about like outside of wrestling. I'm not talking about.
I know.
It's rumor mills.
Wasn't that bullshit?
I think that's bullshit. I don't buy it. I think the guy has some twisted ideas, but I don't think he's an evil person. I just think
He's still around in wrestling. Doesn't he help in AEW?
I don't know about AEW. He was in MLW for a while.
Because his name keeps coming up, so he's still an
He's still
important
involved in
figure
the
in
business.
wrestling.
He's not wrestling.
He had a stint in the Impact for a while. He was supposedly Rosemary's dad.
Yeah, he
Oh,
I haven't seen him on TV in years, but he's still behind the scenes involved in wrestling.
He was recently on David Panzer's show.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, on David Panzer's podcast. But
oh wow,
what was I gonna say? But yeah, like I know what you're saying, but it is, yeah, like for me, you know, I still watch, you know, I've watched Raw, and you still see Benoit. They still have Benoit on the network wrestling on Raw. They just don't mention him, you know.
They archive his stuff. If he had like WCW stuff, ECW stuff for like WWE stuff, he's on
match
there.
in WrestleMania is still there.
Yeah, no, I know. But I know they just don't outwardly discuss him on public forums.
Anybody know why like WrestleMania 24 isn't available on the network right now?
No. Oh, because of the Floyd Mayweather thing. Apparently, there's some lawsuit going on.
Stupid.
It's stupid, but it has something to do with some bullshit lawsuit going on. That's why.
Oh, the fact that he used 50 song and he didn't get permission for it. Okay, got you. Well, then why didn't you just like edit the song out then?
What happened?
Yeah, to go back to what you were saying before, though. Like, yeah, Chuck, I definitely don't approve. I mean, I think what he did the last couple of days of his life was fucked up and immoral, you know, just
it's immoral.
Immoral.
It's immoral.
It was, you know, but but even like his son said, you know, that was not his dad. That guy, that murderer was not his dad.
He and I feel bad for David Benoit because he's probably a good wrestler. He's probably a really good guy and a really good talent. He's probably never going to catch a real break in wrestling because of who his family is.
I don't think so. I think like if AEW, for example,
AEW is the most likely to sign a guy like him. WWE is not touching him. Not because of anything he did wrong, but because of his father. WWE is never going to touch him. That's a shame.
And that's fucked up because
of course it's fucked up, but WWE does
David Benoit.
WWE does fucked up shit all the time, though. I love WWE; it's a great product, but they do fucked up shit all the time.
They actually did try to kind of disassociate themselves with him, not because of his father, but because he showed up at an AEW event.
So what?
Exactly, I agree with you. But
so what? Like AEW.
I mean, you heard the rumors that was like because you know, like, I'm just glad Vince didn't pull events and like cause Sasha lose the Mella at TLC because of the whole Snoop Dogg thing. Because those rumors were flying for a while. That
would be the most petty
I don't
fucking.
Think he would do that.
Really? Do you not know Vince McMahon?
Vince McMahon does pull petty shit. I wonder what he. I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not going to go there. I was going to crack a Trump joke. I'm not going there.
Yeah,
let's not go there.
Yeah,
this is not a political conversation.
No, I'm not political. No, I learned my lesson.
I don't feel like going there because I'm just.
We're not going to touch that one. I was going to crack a joke. We're not going to go there. We're going to retract. Vince does some weird, stupid, spiteful things. Damn it! I wore the wrong. Speaking of Vince, I wore the wrong shirt today. I got the Elias one on, a brand new Elias shirt, but damn it, I forgot to wear my Punk shirt today. I bought the Twisted Cane Punk shirt.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like the Danzig. It's the Danzig Twisted Cane logo from the first album, but it's got CM Punk's face on it. It's fucking bad. It's bad.
Guess what I bought today, actually.
What'd you buy today?
And it'll be coming soon. Join the Dark Order.
Nice. Yeah, I bought a Brody Lee shirt too. It was
I got to order one. I think
I didn't buy a Brody Lee shirt. I brought a Join the Dark Order shirt.
That's cool.
But
I bought a Brody Lee shirt.
I am going to get a Brody Lee shirt.
I want to get that Exalted in Heaven shirt. That shirt looks awesome.
I messed up. I bought the Ace Brody Lee shirt, but it turns out it's not just a Brody Lee shirt. The one side is Brody Lee, the other side is John Moxley, so it's actually pretty badass.
Oh, nice.
Was that to promote the match they had?
I think so. I didn't realize it was both of them. The way I looked at the shirt, the way it was advertised on the photo, I thought it was just Brody Lee on both sides. But the top side's Brody, the bottom side's Moxley. Either way, I'm with the shirt. It's a really cool shirt. I'm into like playing cards and stuff, so it's kind of cool.
There's two guys who are not getting, who again WWE did what they wanted with them.
Mox, you're gonna get two people. You're gonna get people that says he was underutilized in the WWE, and then you're gonna get the people that says how do you underutilize somebody who's a Grand Slam champion.
He wasn't. I mean, he ran with the belt, but it wasn't I think Reigns and Rollins got better pushes than Moxley did in WWE.
And that's weird because Moxley was actually the first member of the Shield to be a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, that's true. He was the first guy. He got the U.S. title.
Yeah. Well, actually, initially, I think Moxley was the one they were trying to push. Originally, again, going back to, the booking of wrestling and what I learned was on Nerd and I watched it, Apparently, Punk on his Colt Cabana podcast years ago after he left, he said that the Shield was actually his idea, where he pitched it because they wanted to put a stable at Punk. Yeah. And Punk hated what they offered him. They wanted to put him with Bryan and Big Show, and Punk wasn't having it because what sense with that? And even Punk said, from a business standpoint, there's no reason that me and Bryan should be allied. We should be feuding, whatever, kind of like the Bret and Shawn Michaels stuff. He was thinking that way for that, but they didn't see it. So CM Punk goes, if you want to do something like that, why don't you get 3 new guys and build them up? So they asked him who he had in mind, and of course Punk pushed for Rollins, Moxley, and Chris Hero, because obviously Punk and Chris Hero had incredible matches back when Chris Hero was young and in shape. Yeah,
for those who don't know Chris Hero, he's talking about Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, Cassius Ohno. Yeah. So, and then basically they passed on Hero and they wanted to push Roman because Roman was their guy. That was the guy they wanted to push because they wanted that heater, like the bigger guy.
Right.
Because originally the faction was going to be Punk, Bryan, and Show, which Show was the heater.
Yeah, I remember Show. And
yeah, they wanted him to be the heater, and Punk wasn't into it because he felt like that wouldn't benefit any of them at that point in their careers. So he said, well, why don't you bring new guys up and make them a faction? So it was supposed to be they were supposed to be with them, then they changed the storyline where they were on their own and they went rampant.
Right.
And at first, I think Moxley was the one they had the high hopes for because he was the single they were pushing. He
talked the most too.
He was the mouthpiece, yeah. Well, also before the whole Shield thing, they had that whole thing where they're teasing, calling him up when he was doing that Twitter feud with Mick Foley.
I don't remember that.
Before,
I remember that. Yeah,
right before it, WrestleMania 2012 time, the spring of 2012, they were discussing bringing Moxley up after his Twitter war with Mick Foley. He was doing crazy, Raven style promos against Mick Foley. And if you actually watch Moxley's old indie stuff, he was very Raven in his promos.
You're talking CCW?
CZW and just other assorted ones that I saw. Okay. I don't think they were all CZW, but I think I saw stuff. There was all different things he did. And he was really deep and cryptic like Raven was. I was like, damn, this guy's got good promos. And at first they were kind of doing that with him, but then they kind of shielded it, and then they kind of babyfaced him, and he kind of
was that pun intended?
Yes. Yes. No, everything I said was intended.
No, it wasn't. All right, go ahead.
No, but just and then I guess obviously behind the scenes they wanted to push Roman because apparently speaking of not underutilized guys, Roman has been the guy since he debuted.
Well, yeah.
I said one thing about speaking of, but
yeah, remember though, Roman also went 2 years without holding the world title though, after he failed the wellness policy, and then he went basically another 2 years after unfortunately the whole leukemia announcement.
Yeah, but now he's gotten a good run. Actually, this is his best run. I love Roman Reigns as a heel.
So this is why I hate when people say, "Oh, Roman shoved down our throats." The man went 4 years. And the last 6 years without the world title, how you gonna say the man shoved down your throat?
Because that's all the commentators ever spoke about on Raw or SmackDown for years.
Roman Reigns.
That's all you heard. Oh, Roman Reigns. How is Roman Reigns? It was the same thing with John Cena. How does John Cena fit into the plan? Every freaking Raw was oh, well, John Cena's involved in this, and John Cena did that.
Unlike John Cena, they actually let Roman turn heel, though.
Which was amazing.
Cena should have turned heel for the Rock feud. And he wanted to too.
WWE didn't let him.
I know, because of his merch, but they
But
let
CM
Reigns.
Punk, they turned CM Punk heel, and he was doing comparable merch to Cena at that point, and they made Punk turn heel.
Punk was a great heel.
He's a great heel, but the point was that, but with that logic, they should have let Cena turn heel, because the point was that before he turned heel that time in like 2012, his merch was as hot as Cena's. He was selling as much merch as Cena. They didn't want to negate the colorful merch for Little John Cena, because Little Jimmy and Little Johnny have to have their Little John Cena shirts in every color.
But Cena was
Little
started
Roddy
as
has to
one.
have his John Cena shirt in every color.
But John Cena's best work was as a heel, when he with Wordline, the original.
That was a great gimmick. I
Dr.
loved it as a heel.
Phenomenal.
He was great as a heel. He was great as a heel. When he would insult
With
people and like really take jabs.
Buchanan B squared on his side.
Oh God.
That was a great gimmick.
And then he had Jazz's wife for a cup of coffee at the side too. I mean Jazz's husband, excuse me.
Who's Jazz's husband?
Rodney Mack.
Who? Oh yeah. Oh, you mean
another
Theodore Long's theme song? Because it was originally it's funny because that was Rodney Mack's theme song, because that's where Mac Militant comes from.
Yeah, but
well, actually, you know where Mac Militant came from? The WrestleMania 2000 theme, the California theme. They reworked the California theme to Mac Militant. The WrestleMania, the Ooh California.
Yeah.
The beat was the Mac Militant beat.
I didn't know. But it's weird, like, because they're talking about Rodney Mack, and yet Teddy Long's now was using the hat.
Yeah, it became Teddy Long's theme, but actually Mark Henry used it for a while too when he was with Teddy Long. In like 2003, 2004, he had it too for a while.
I thought he had a different one before the one somebody's going to get the. I thought he had
like a generic one for a while.
He had that Echo theme. It was called like Echoes or something like that. That was right before that. This was before he got injured. Because he got injured in 2004 against Benoit, and he was at the time with Teddy Long, and he was using the Mac Militant theme.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
This is like 04. I wasn't following wrestling that closely, but I did my research.
Yeah, 04 was the what's the year? I was like deployed like 95% of the year, so I basically just used WWE.com to keep up. But yeah,
2004 is the year I got back into wrestling.
I was still into wrestling.
Yeah, 2004. I was deployed most of the year. So outside of like getting all the pay-per-view DVDs and stuff, I missed a lot of wrestling that year.
I think I missed wrestling for a month at one point, but I was into wrestling as long as I can remember. I think when I was at sleepaway camp, I couldn't watch it obviously, so I missed a lot of what was happening with NWO and shit. But when I came back, I got caught up into the war and all the wrestling war.
Because my best friend, what he did was he videotaped WrestleMania from WrestleMania 20, and he sent it to me. So like when I actually had like a day off, me and a bunch of friends got together and watched WrestleMania 20 on. Yeah, and we watched it on VHS because VHS is what someone still used back then.
I used a VCR and recorded Raw until summer of like 2006, so I get it. I still would if I wasn't home. I would tape it.
Yeah, just before DVR came out.
It was around the same time, and I still to this day don't have DVR because my parents don't want to pay for it, and I don't want to pay for it. So
really,
to this day, I don't have DVR.
Really,
my parents don't want to pay for it, and I don't want to pay for it. I don't watch enough TV to warrant DVR. And they're too cheap to pay for it, so I just don't have it.
Okay. Luckily, it's part of the deal where I rent. It came with it.
Oh wow,
that's good.
I mean, it may be a feature now, but I've never used it anyway. Even if I had
it. Yeah, I was saying 2 years ago was one of the best things I ever bought was DVR.
You know what's funny? I don't think I watch any TV show on regular time TV. I don't think I watch cable TV at all.
SmackDown then.
I stream them after the fact.
See, and
that watchwrestling.in. That's what I use. I watch them after the fact. Or if I'm lucky, I catch the live stream. SmackDown, I catch the live streams most of the time.
Or if you got Hulu, you can just wait the next day. Or
I used to DVR Ring of Honor.
Nice. Yeah, no, I wrestled that in a lot of it. I pretty much do that with NXT and Dynamite every week.
I ain't gonna lie, I used to love it when like
I do it Raw. I do it with
Impact and
SmackDown.
freaking Ring of Honor was on Destination America back to back.
That was fun. I missed that. I
That
didn't
was
really
some good
follow.
Wednesday
I was more
nights.
into Ring of
That's
Honor
right.
than
It was.
I was
Some good
more
Wednesday nights.
I was more into the Ring of Honor stuff, but it was fun for the time. That was another.
Who do you think's benefiting now without WWE? You know, who do you think is benefiting? I mean, Eric
Like
Young.
Yeah, going back to that. Yeah, Eric Young is doing better out of there.
Rich Swann.
Rich Swann. Yeah, I don't like Rich Swann, but I could agree with that. Juice Robinson's killing it in New Japan.
Deanna Praza, Ty Conti.
Both killing
Fred,
it. Fred Rosser's killing it in Japan. I want to see what Fred Rosser does in New Japan when we're fully able to do full travel again, and he actually gets to work in Japan and do like Japan cards, not just the stuff on Strong.
Because I was gonna say, it seems like he's more of a strong guy right now.
Well, right now a lot of them are, because unless like a lot of like the talent they're using. But even like half the Bullet Club guys are just strong guys. I mean, Kenta and Phantasmo are the only two and Gorillas are the ones that kind of go back and forth.
You know who I'm surprised didn't get more comeback wrestler of the year votes after all that crap that went down with him? ACH. After all that stuff that happened with him and WWE and stuff, and now the way he's performing on MLW and Strong, I'm surprised he.
Leo Rush.
Yeah. No. ACH.
ACH. I like ACH, and I think ACH can fall into that too. But I also think that ACH wrote WWE off way too quick.
I really wish ACH was a heel.
In WWE, he would have made sense as a heel.
Now, like, I don't know, just like after what happened with WWE and. Like, I don't know, he had this reputation from there. I just see him.
I could see him
he's a
being
badass. He should be more of a badass than.
I agree. I could see. I wouldn't mind seeing ACH be heel. No, ACH is an awesome talent. He puts on good matches.
But
I
can't
Rush,
really
like say he was
another person.
Who was that?
Leo Rush is another. But yeah, I mean, he only had like 2 matches, so you really can't say he was overutilized in WWE.
Problem with a guy like Leo Rush. I'm gonna compare Leo Rush. It's gonna be a weird comparison,
more than
but
2
follow
matches
me.
in WWE.
Yeah, like 4. That he basically wrestled the tournament, and then the NXT title match against Cole, and after that's when he went on his little rant and basically quit.
Didn't he had the cruiserweight title for a minute?
Not ACH.
Oh, he's talking about ACH. He's talking about
Leo Rush.
No, we're talking about ACH.
Oh, okay. I thought.
So we'll go back.
Rush.
Rush. We'll go back to ACH for a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
I thought you were talking about Leo Rush. All right, go ahead. Yeah, ACH. But yeah, I know what you're saying. He did only have 2 matches, and then like you thought at one point that Keith Lee was going to turn on ACH as Jordan Miles, because that was when Keith Lee was saying, "How come he, has an opportunity? I never got an opportunity." That whole thing. And you thought that Lee was going to turn on, let's call him what his character was, Jordan Miles.
But they kind of nixed that because of the whole thing with Jordan Miles. I think Jordan Miles would have had some good matches on NXT. I think he would have been pigeonholed to 205 Live after that. I think that's all they would have done with him. So it's a blessing he left, even despite all the bullshit.
I like him better as ACH than I did not like his NXT run at all.
He hated that name. He hated that name.
It was a shitty name. It was a stupid name. I have 2 guys I want to mention after that. Related. So going back to Leo Rush. Here was the thing about Leo Rush. He's a great talent, but he was the casualty of the same booking style that Daivari was. Sean Daivari, not Arya. Sean Daivari, Cosmo Daivari.
Oh, speaking of it, he makes his MLW debut this week. While we on that subject, real quick,
he technically already made his MLW
in-ring debut. I meant to say in-ring debut.
Okay.
So I compare Leo Rush to that because they're both they're both like small guys.
Right.
So WWE has this thing where when they're smaller guys, they're more into using them as characters and as wrestlers.
Right.
So Leo Rush's best work in WWE was when he was the character and not the wrestler. And it actually pissed me off because even though he was like Lashley's mouthpiece and like Lashley was actually working with some good quality talent, 90% of the guys that Lashley was working with, Leo Rush was better wrestle wise than like most of them. Like the only one where I would say was different was Balor and Lashley's feud for the IC title. The entire feud, all I wanted was Balor and Leo Rush to wrestle. That's all I cared about. That's how much
I
I
have to
liked
tell
it.
you something though. For me, I liked Leo Rush's work in NXT more than his work with Lashley because he
Me
was.
too.
I mean, I did not love.
Well, me too.
Leo Rush did his job for me because I thought he was an irritating heel. He annoyed me.
He was very annoying. He was a great heel. No, I agree with you. No, of course. No, I agree with you. His NXT run was awesome. The little run he had was great, and I thought he was a good cruiserweight champion. I thought he's a good wrestler, and he's good with high spots. And I think he is a good talent. But again, for WWE level, he was underutilized because for where he could shine, WWE doesn't showcase that people.
And let's not even. And I'm not even going to get into the backstage part of why he got
Hey, he's got a mouth on him.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, in a way, I actually agree with him though, because like he got in trouble for crap that like that wasn't nowhere near as bad as some of the other guys that's still currently on the roster today. But that's another story.
I mean, that whole thing with Tennille Dashwood when he made that comment.
Okay, that was uncalled for.
He dug his own grave with that one.
Yeah,
that was dumb.
Speaking of underutilized guys, my favorite wrestler is one of my favorite period in wrestling in general is, and they just shit on him, Ricochet. That just gets me angry.
Yeah,
it's been almost a year. While we on that, it's been almost a year, and he still has not recovered from Super Showdown.
He's not going to. He's not going to.
Like Lesnar made him look like that. Not only did he not even belong in the same company as him, he didn't even belong in the same sport as him.
He made
in that match.
Lesnar made Ricochet look like shit because.
But yeah, everybody was complaining about Goldberg dropped the Fiend. I'm like, did you not watch the Ricochet Lesnar match? The Fiend is going to recover, and the Fiend did wind up recovering. Ricochet still hasn't recovered.
He's not going to because, again, the problem with Ricochet was that the one supporter that he had that was writing the show got replaced by the pet dog, who doesn't have any investment in Ricochet. So there's.
So you're basically, are you talking about Heyman with Pritchard?
Pritchard, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know who was probably like popping champagne when that move happened though.
Who's that?
AJ. AJ was popping champagne when that move happened.
Yeah, because AJ and Heyman had problems.
Because AJ feels as though Heyman didn't protect the Good Brothers, and that's why they got released.
That's just some truth to that, I bet.
But you know what? In a way, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that they did get released, because look at the work they're doing with Omega right now.
Yeah,
the work they're doing.
Yeah, of course. But
the Good Brothers are
mind, he just lost his best friend.
Wrestling. Like, I know I say that about a lot of tag teams, but I think the Good Brothers are one of the best tag teams in wrestling. I think they're great for what they are, and they have range. Like a lot of even though I love the Bucks and the Good Brothers are probably my two favorite tag teams in wrestling. Gorillas of Destiny are probably like a third. I know, they're all Bullet Club, blah blah blah, but like my thing with all that is that they all have good range as teams. Like the Good Brothers could do different types of matches that.
Hold on, Chuck. I lost the picture, dude.
I was having an issue before.
Yeah, and real quick, while we're on the subject of what's names, like whatever issues that Alex Shelley's going through, I hope he recovers and gets back to the ring soon. Whatever it is that caused him, it must have been something really serious to miss a big pay-per-view like that.
It could be anything. There you are. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, I hope he recovers and gets back to the ring soon.
Me too. They have a lot of good. I like the Guns.
Yeah, they didn't really say what it was. Maybe it was a personal family matter.
Yeah, I mean that could have been it, but that's what I'm saying. Whatever it is, I hope it gets better and he gets back soon.
Yeah, it's a crazy time right now. So he said it wasn't COVID related, but it could have been anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I like the Motor City Machine Guns. They're another great team. They're another good range team. Or maybe he's just leaving Impact. He's going back to WWE to join the Time Splitters with Kushida again.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I see that not happening.
Probably not happening, but the Time Splitters were an awesome team in Japan.
Oh, they was. It's just a shame that like they were only together for a cup of coffee in NXT.
No, they actually had a couple-year run, actually. The
In NXT?
Oh, in NXT was a cup of coffee. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but in Japan,
Talking about NXT.
I heard him wrong.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in general was only a cup of coffee. No.
Oh no, I know.
Oh, yeah, no, NXT
I know
was
how
a
good they
law.
were in NXT, but NXT they were there for that one match of in last year's Dusty Classic. They got beat by GY That was it.
Yeah, that was a good match though. I love the Grizzled Young veterans. I can't say they're underutilized because they're starting to get a push.
They're doing pretty well on NXT.
I can see them winning the Dusty Cup. I have a feeling it's going to come down to them in Undisputed Era, but
You know who was underutilized in NXT? The man who got his ass handed to him on barbed wire this weekend.
Well,
Damn it.
Yes, he was.
I heard the reason for that was because they didn't. The reason why he got let go is because of the same reason why he almost got let go in Impact because of how reckless he is.
I don't know. I can see
mean,
it.
like I said,
They didn't get his character.
I mean, I'll tell you right now,
It's one thing
that
to
would
not get a
happen in
character. It's
WWE.
another thing to be a liability and hurt people.
Yeah, like
I mean, Nia Jax should have been shit canned years ago because she fucking hurt everybody.
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah, that's another. But I'll tell you right now, had he pulled that stunt in WWE like that, yeah, he never would have gotten a world title push. I can promise you that.
Oh, by the way, can we all, speaking of underutilized and punishments, now we all understand the Lana punishment, right? The real Lana punishment, the real Lana push.
Okay, explain the real Lana punishment.
They put her with Nia Jax because they knew Nia Jax hurt people, so they put her with Nia on purpose to make her life miserable.
And it
You
works.
think so?
I don't know.
It
I'm
was
just being a
surprising.
degenerate. I'm just being a degenerate. Don't mind me.
Yeah. You know what though? I mean, yeah. Where is she? Is she off TV or is she actually in?
No, her and Baszler are still together. Technically, they have a Lana or Nia Jax.
Yeah, no, Lana's off TV.
Yeah, Lana's off TV. That's why Charlotte replaced her.
But Nia and Jax and Shayna Baszler are very much a team.
Oh yeah,
and they still got a rematch. Technically, they still never got their rematch.
They'll probably win the belt back because you know what's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to be Charlotte and Asuka for the belt.
Yeah,
let's call a spade, except for Becky Lynch.
I know that's what they're doing. It's part 2.
Because here's the thing. Let's call a spade. Aside from Charlotte or Becky Lynch, name one credible person that's going to take that belt off Asuka on the Raw roster right now.
If they actually give her an opportunity to,
it's going to be Charlotte.
Baszler could. They actually give an opportunity to.
Baszler, yeah, that's about it.
I could see Baszler winning the title. I don't see why they wouldn't do that one.
Why they won't fire Nia Jax for her recklessness? I don't ever see her become a Raw Women's Champion again. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it.
She's not a good champion anyway. She's just a big dominant thing that fucks people up. It's like, that's it.
Oh, I know a big dominant thing that fucked people up who held the championship hostage. So why are you saying that? Because if that person, you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
Oh, I know. We all know.
Yes.
And you're saying, and that's basically what he was, but so you don't think Nia could run?
Yeah, there's a big difference between that big dominant man you're talking about and Nia Jax. Big difference.
That's Rod's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, he said no one ever.
Yeah.
Rod is a Brock Lesnar mark.
Like Hells no.
The president of his fan club.
Yeah, that's a lie. Whatever dirt sheet you got that from, don't ever go to that website ever again.
We call it the fake news website.
I'm not a Brock guy.
None of us are. It's fine. I liked it better in UFC, to be honest with you. In UFC, I respect him. WWE, I don't. But it's funny because Brock Lesnar's one of those talents where diehard wrestling fans
I don't like the fact that like WWE acts like, oh my god, when Brock's around or Brock's champion, their ratings go up to like Attitude Era-esque. That's why he gets all these stupid reigns where he could be off TV for months at a time. Ratings are nowhere near that high when Brock's around, which I
We
don't
both
understand why they keep giving him the belt. Like, oh my god, like our ratings go up to Attitude Era-esque when Lesnar's around. No, they don't.
Because
we all know that he helped Drew's run because he's the one who told Drew to hit him with the title and to take the title and hold
That's
it
like
over.
the first guy he's pushed is Eddie Guerrero. The first guy he's put over since Eddie Guerrero.
Apparently, and I was watching something. Actually, I think it was a Drew McIntyre interview when he said back in the day when he was doing 3MB, Brock Lesnar pulled Drew aside one time and goes, "Why are you doing this? Like, you're so much better than this." And it was like at the time, this is when WWE was having problems with Drew with the whole domestic dispute thing with Terrence or whatever, and they're punishing him. They had him with that. And Lesnar goes, "You're so much better than this." Like he didn't understand it. He's like, "You are so much better than the crap they're giving you right now." Because they made Drew like shit now.
I'll tell you right now though, like people can say what they want, but like Impact helped Drew McIntyre become the superstar he is today.
So
and you ain't gonna tell me different. Yeah, you're not gonna tell me different.
Evolve.
Same with Lashley.
Impact too helped him a lot when he was Drew when he got to use his real name.
Saying the same thing about Impact. It's. I'm not hating on Impact, but I'm just saying. Here's my thing with Impact. Impact's another one. It's another company that's a breeding ground for WWE. It's that promotion, that cross promotion. It's a step up from an indie promotion, but it's not a big time promotion where you can get like good pushes there. Look at EC3. Like he freaking shines there. Another underutilized guy in WWE.
I have to jump in though. James Storm left NXT to go back to Impact.
Why? I will never understand.
No, because they offered him more money at Impact. Impact outbid him. That's why.
Oh, I thought it was because. Oh, and Abyss. I'm so surprised Chris Parks is over in WWE because Abyss turned down the opportunity to wrestle The Undertaker to stay with Impact.
Because he's being loyal. See, that's something you don't see in professional wrestling today. It's called loyalty. Some of these guys, I can name a list of guys who could learn from Abyss about loyalty.
Loyalty doesn't exist in wrestling, dude. There's very few loyal wrestlers in wrestling.
I know. People can learn from Abyss, which is why I'm glad he made the Hall of Fame before he left.
Also, Undertaker's a loyal talent.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, Undertaker. So is Cena, I have to say.
Yeah, he is. No, I'll give Cena his loyalty. He'll never go to AEW.
So is the son-in-law, obviously.
Well, yeah. Well, you know why.
I mean, then again, also, but really, the son-in-law is really loyal to the crack he's licking. But that's another story. Which is pretty much the bloodline. He's licking the right bloodline. Let's just leave it at that. He's licking the right crack. Come on.
And I mean, Shawn Michaels never went to WCW when he could have. He never did that.
Apparently, they wanted him bad. They were like Hall and Nash were trying to get him to go over bad, but he didn't.
Yeah, no.
And this is when like Shawn Michaels.
I think had that happened, that might have been it for WWE. If they would have lost both Brett and Shawn, that would have been it.
Yeah, they would have been screwed. Actually, no, because
Austin saved the promotion. Saved the promotion.
But both of them really didn't become like 98 was when like Austin and The Rock really became like the mega stars. They were like super. They were like.
But that was because
top tier 97. 98 is when they became.
Well, yeah, that was when they broke through. Because think about it this way: Bret Hart went to WCW in late '97, and Shawn Michaels had the back injury, and he left. He stopped wrestling for 4 years. So guys like Austin and The Rock, who were the next on the totem pole for potential, stepped up and rose to the occasion, along with Mick Foley, the Undertaker.
And plus the whole Attitude Era, like the Attitude Era got started.
The two mid-card guys became main eventers.
Put it this way, if the Attitude Era didn't happen, WWE wouldn't be around today. Like WCW.
Val Venus said my favorite thing ever in a shirt interview about the Attitude Era.
Go ahead.
I don't like Vince Russo's writing overall, but for the Attitude Era, he did great work because he had a filter with his writing. But one thing I do give Vince Russo credit for is that he knew how to utilize the entire card.
Is this what you say, or is this what Venus said?
This is what Val Venus said. I agree with this to a point, though. And he said that he had everybody had a value. Every story meant something on the card. Then he goes to say the best line in the history of a shoot interview. Crash Holly was more over than Goldberg.
Yeah, I 100% disagree with that statement, but okay.
I thought that was hilarious that he said that.
Well, this coming from a guy who wish at his best would never be as over as Goldberg was, but okay. But continue.
Is anyone else pissed off that Goldberg is in an angle against one of the best wrestlers of today? It's annoying the hell out of me. I don't think
It may not
Goldberg
happen.
belongs.
It may not happen.
Well, you can freaking. There's only one person you can blame for this. How you going to say you have a whole roster of superstars and say not one of them was ready to face Drew at the Rumble? If that was the case, instead of having Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre on Raw, you should have saved that for the Rumble. That was the case. You could have gave AJ his rematch at the Rumble. AJ versus Drew probably would have tore the house down at the Rumble.
I wish they did because the match that
But
he
to
had
say-
was not that great.
But to
And Miz
say,
ruined it.
yeah, but to say that no one on the roster is ready, it's a slap in the face to everybody on that Raw roster. That's not
Who
named Drew
said that
McIntyre.
though? Who said that?
They really said it. This is why Goldberg's getting a shot. No one on the roster is ready to face Drew at the Rumble.
This is
That's why
management thinks
Goldberg's
this.
getting a shot.
Apparently, this is WWE behind the scenes thinks this, and it's ridiculous because there's so many good talent.
Yeah,
Or it's really, or let's call the real reason.
And they slapped in the face of every superstar, male superstar on the Raw roster that's not named Drew McIntyre, basically, with that.
Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. I'd pay to
That's
see
another
that.
great match. But he ain't ready apparently. AJ isn't ready. Keith Lee isn't ready.
They are all ready. Sheamus has been the champion.
Well,
Sheamus
tell
and Drew
WWE
McIntyre-
management
He's
that.
been the champion.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to Dark Horse Rumble something. I know it's not going to happen. They'll probably find another way to do it, but I'd be okay with Sheamus winning another Rumble and facing McIntyre at Mania, but I'm sure they're going to do that anyway, but they're going to do it differently than that. I'm sure they'll say
I really think
Oh.
those two should go at it because of the way they've been pushing them together.
Well, that's because they're real life friends, and that's
Yeah,
the
they're
problem.
like real life best friends.
Because again, we're in the reality era of wrestling. Because kayfabe's not a real thing anymore.
Oh, but if they was on feuding and they were such good buddies, Cornette be like they should be fired. Because heaven forbid if you're friends and you're feuding.
Jim Cornette didn't blow a gasket over the Mandy Rose Sonya Deville angle either.
Oh, don't get me started about that. She gets her house broken into, and you're more concerned about the fact that they're living together. They should be fired with the fact that some dude is trying to do God knows what to her.
And
Yeah,
she's
whatever.
like, and now she's the SmackDown manager or whatever the hell.
Yeah, she's like the assistant to the.
Oh, speaking of underutilized, Billy Kay, very underutilized right now.
Oh,
I think what they just did with her was kind of funny though.
She's
Misutilized.
She's getting more TV time than freaking Peyton is right now.
I agree.
And it sucks too because
I wish Iconics were still running.
they were a great team. But what's funny is what drives me crazy though is that WWE did the same thing with them because again they did the same thing with Legacy with Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase years ago. They broke them up. They thought that Ted DiBiase was going to be the star on Raw and Shawn on Raw, where the other one was going to kind of fizzle on SmackDown, and the polar opposite happened.
You know why that happened, right? Because they was trying to push DiBiase because the whole Marine 2 movie. They was trying to what's name him on that, trying to get the momentum off of him on that, and it just didn't work out that way.
No, it didn't because they forced his pushes.
The only Marine that only had like a short-lived career. Like the Miz is now the Marine in like the Marine Part 85.
Well, yeah, not anymore. He died in the last one, so.
Spoiler.
Wow, way to ruin the movie, Rod. Way to go, bro.
Yeah, because this only came out like 2 years ago. Excuse me.
I never seen it.
Oh my God! Wow.
Becky Lynch as the villain.
Yeah.
By the way, true story. To date, except for The Condemned and snippets of See No Evil, I have never watched a WWE film ever.
Wow.
I've never.
I've watched a lot of them. I've watched a whole bunch of them.
I own the first one.
Actually, no, I tell a lie. I did finally watch Christmas Bounty. I tell a lie.
Huh. Christmas Bounty is The Miz.
The Miz. Right? The Miz is like 90% WWE films now. The Miz is WWE films.
Oh yeah, Jingle All the Way too. That's the one Santino was in.
Unless you count the
All the way
do we
to
count the
the
Big
thing?
Show on Netflix as a WWE
Well, that's not
show?
a movie, so that's more.
No,
of a
no, I've never
TV,
seen it from
yeah.
it. I actually watched it. That was pretty funny.
No,
I
that
saw
was good.
the Big Show. I thought
That
it
was
was kind
great.
of funny and stupid.
I'm pissed that they're not making it a season 2 because it was like the third highest. What's the name on it? It was like the third freaking highest ranked series on Netflix. So how you not gonna make a season 2?
Because too much. Here's the problem that streaming services are having. Streaming services are like wrestling. There's so much of it now that nothing stands out. So it's like you really have to stand out on those platforms in order to keep your shows alive. That's why even 13 Reasons Why finally ended. That was like the most popular show next behind
I
Stranger
didn't like
Things.
it. I didn't care to watch it.
I actually wound up liking 13 Reasons Why, but Stranger Things is fantastic.
I'm upset that they ended Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I'm upset they're about to end Atypical.
I heard Atypical was good. I've seen a little bit of that. I heard that was really good.
I got to catch WandaVision. I'm hearing a lot of good things about WandaVision.
I'm saving that for me.
It's
I'm saving that.
so far.
I haven't watched it yet. I promised Shanice when she came over next that
Yeah.
we'd watch it, so I'm not probably seeing her for a couple weeks. So
I've
we're
seen
both busy. So when she's over here next, we're gonna watch WandaVision together.
I
So
gotta
in
watch,
the interim, oh, but you know what did come back tonight? Batwoman.
Oh, nice.
Woman's back.
Yeah, with the new actress stuff. But it's the new actress. It's not Ruby Rose.
Oh, really? I didn't know they were doing that. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. So why? Oh, maybe my DVR did get it because I love fucking Batwoman. Is
Yeah,
it
but-
on?
But you might want to check it out just to make sure. Then
is it
Yeah,
on
but
the
I heard it wasn't good because it's not Ruby Rose. They have a new actress. I forget the girl's name, but it's not. It's a new
is it on
actress.
CW though?
Yeah, it's still CW. I'm gonna watch it on the app later.
I need
why-
I still need to watch Wonder Woman
Rose in it?
84. I think I'll catch that sometime this week.
Why
It
is
was okay, Rod. I'll be honest with you about Wonder Woman 84, Rod. It was for the DC movies. It's one of the better ones, but the acting, meh.
Look at my finger. Thumbs down. Look at
I
my
don't like
hand.
the DC. I don't like the DC movies though. So like for DC movies, it was one of the
I think DC. I think like while Marvel makes the better movies, DC will stay with the better TV shows.
Yeah, DC has the better TV shows.
I can mostly agree with that, but I'm gonna disagree
Someone answer
because
my question about why Ruby Rose is not still.
I think it was a
Yeah.
contract. I think it was a contract dispute or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
Is it
so
an
it's not Ruby
Australian
Rose. So Derek watched it. He sent me a text before we started this. He said that Ruby Rose was the whole show, so it's not good anymore. Honestly, of the CW stuff now, the Arrowverse stuff, Stargirl has become like the show.
I loved Stargirl, man.
Stargirl's got the best cast. Well, the Flash is good still too. But even
Flash is always going to be good.
the Flash's last season was kind of weak just because of COVID, because they caught bad
Yeah.
breaks because
It
COVID
didn't-
stifled.
Oh, a lot. Well, you can say you can make a whole list of shows
COVID
that
killed
happened
their
to.
season. No, because it ended awkwardly because of
No,
it.
I'm saying like a lot of shows, unfortunately, that happened to.
Yeah.
Though.
What was I gonna
Legends
say?
of Tomorrow was I can't I like the way Legends ended.
Legends is a good show. I enjoy Legends.
Yeah.
If you take Legends of Tomorrow at face value, it's actually a very amusing show because it literally hit the point where they stopped taking the show so seriously, and now it's just like the C level superheroes just having spoofs and poking fun at like random shit in history and putting their own like stupid hoop superhero spin on it. And it's actually amusing to watch.
It's not really a superhero show anymore. It totally turned to like a time travel show.
That's basically what it is now, yeah, and they're protecting time, which pretty much what it was to begin with, but now they really exaggerated it for that. But it's good.
Speaking of shows,
I found out-
anybody watch the Go Big show yet?
No, not yet.
Nah,
It's actually really good. It's actually really good. Like some of the stuff they put on, it's freaking awesome.
you know
gotta
what's
catch
funny?
it.
I gotta be honest because aside from wrestling, I don't watch a lot of TV. Like I watch like few things. You know what I've actually been watching in my spare time? Like old Marvel cartoons on Disney Plus. Like I've been watching.
I've been
Oh
thinking
yeah,
about doing
that and freaking Darkwing Duck, like the old Disney
Yeah,
acting
that's good.
cartoons.
I've been
I
watching the 80s Spider-Man cartoon. I watched the 90s one a while back, but now I've been watching the 80s ones.
Oh, I gotta finish the '90s one, man. I was like
You know,
doing
this
that.
is gonna sound bad, but you know what I watched the other day? Finally, I had it on my DVR box for long as I finally the South Park COVID special.
That shit was fucking funny.
Oh my god, it was freaking
That shit had me
hilarious.
I haven't
rolling.
seen it.
South Park's one of those shows that, like, because they touch on contemporary issues, it never gets stale. Like Family Guy, I got tired of.
I got bored of Family Guy after a while. Yeah.
It's like The Simpsons. The problem with those shows is the whole random humor thing is only funny to a point.
Simpsons should have ended a long time ago.
The Simpsons should have ended before the movie. Even by the time the movie came out, you could tell when the movie came out, like 13 years ago, that they saved all their creative ideas for that movie. And even with the movie, you were like, they ran out of ideas that were funny.
And they have 31 seasons, right?
Right, and
Something
counting.
like that, yeah. It's been
I thought The Simpsons was finally over.
I don't know. I don't care.
No, I think
Yeah,
they're still going. I think
Thought they
Fox
ended
still
it.
having new episodes.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Wouldn't surprise me.
Why?
because it's a successful franchise.
I was 8 years old when The Simpsons came out.
Yeah, I was born.
I mean, The
41.
Simpsons was not gonna be one of those shows that was like,
Hey Jay, you want to feel old?
still in
What?
its prime, and what's the like how a lot of people felt like Duck Dynasty was like well in its prime, or like how some people felt Sons of Anarchy was still what's the name, and they all ended, you know.
Right. So what was I going to say? You said you were 8 when Simpsons came out.
Yes.
I was just born.
Ha!
Want to feel old? I was
I'm
just born when that
fart, man. I'm an old
I was
fart.
just born when that came out. I was a little baby, my dirty diapers pooping everywhere.
Oh my god!
I was in elementary school when it came out, man.
Little
And
baby
I
degenerate Chuck running around pooping his diaper.
But like,
You know what's my next binge watch show is? I got to clear off my DVR box. Is the Bradshaw Bunch. I heard that show was good.
What show?
The Bradshaw Bunch.
yeah, I saw you post about that. Why would you watch reality show garbage, dude?
I liked Terry Bradshaw. First of all, that show, the first episode I watched was actually fucking hilarious.
I liked the comic book men, but then I watched the show and I'm like, never again.
My thing with reality TV is it depends on what it is. Like some of it, I
Certain
actually
shows I like,
can get into,
could
but most of
watch,
it's
and
stupid.
others no. Like I'm not watching 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom. Those shows are stupid.
Those
No.
shows are great. What are you kidding? No kidding.
I mean, the Total Divas, I tried to watch it, but it just gets so like.
I like it. Total
I'm over
Bellas,
them
Total
now.
Divas.
I've been watching.
Well,
Total
they
Bellas.
haven't had a what's the since COVID, so they haven't done one since COVID. So
Well, that's harder to tape than like Total Bellas because like Total Bellas is just like focused around the two of them.
yeah.
Which the season's terrible because like, look, I'm happy they're fucking
Well, I
moms and
mean,
kids,
you know,
but I don't really give a shit about their pregnancy journey. I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh
give
my
I
god!
don't give a shit about their pregnancy journey.
I don't give a shit about them.
I love the Bella twins,
So do
but
I.
I love the Bella twins. I just don't. I'm over it. Like,
I mean, you know, like people can
They're
say what
good
they want.
actresses and good models, yeah.
they're super
People
hot.
say-
They were,
people-
hey,
people-
Jay, you got it. You can't deny that they were smoking hot in
Yes,
the right
they're
side
hot.
of the bed
Say-
video
say
in
what
a
they
Dre
want.
song.
Models.
But outside Ronda Rousey, no freaking females brought more mainstream to the WWE than the Bellas. Outside of Ronda, and Ronda was a star before she even got stepped foot in the WWE. So
But the thing is, that's the thing about wrestling, about this time of year wrestling, is that like right now you're going to see the underutilized talent. You're going to get mad about it because they're going to push the casual audience. So if they can cut a deal with Ronda Rousey and squeeze her in, they're going to.
oh, of course.
That's why they're squeezing Goldberg into crap. That's why they're going to squeeze, Brock Lesnar into crap somehow. That's why they squeeze
God.
Triple H into stuff because that's what
I feel like there are more of us though than there are the WWE universe being the wrestling fans. I feel like it's funny though, like we are a selective group because there are a lot of cases where I'm like the only wrestling fan, like at my day job and stuff like that, where I'm and then I feel like we're a group, a selective group, but I also do feel like
But there's also the flip. But here's the flip side to that, and I'm with you on that. But here's the flip side to that. The flip side is that you have a lot of casual fans that only watch WWE. That's all they know. That's all they watch. That's all they care to know. And so if you start bringing people in that they know from other mediums, that's what happens. Remember WCW in like '99 and '98 when they brought Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone in, and all of a sudden
look at AEW. I mean, like bringing in Snoop Dogg. That's gonna bring in more fans right there. Bringing in Snoop Dogg.
But that's why they're doing it because they're
Standing
entertainment companies.
flat,
They're trying to appeal to those least common denominators to get eyeballs on their product.
I mean, it's funny, like you're talking about basketball and basketball fans. Like it's just you see like who's a fan and who isn't because remember like how after the basketball game, a lot of them were tuning in, not knowing the product.
Well, that's
And-
but that's what they were
Yeah.
trying. But that's what they were trying to get you to be interested in the product by
I mean, why do you
bringing
think
that in.
AEW is using the whole Shaq thing right now? Because he's a
They
big
wanna-
star. He's going to bring in basketball fans to watch. Just like
That's
how
it.
like
He
them,
almost
just like how
wrestled
like
the Big Show in
why do you think like
WrestleMania.
WWE they always talk about like freaking the football games that's gonna be on Fox, And how like
Well, that's
now
because
you got like the Fox commentators talking about SmackDown now.
because again they're spending all the money.
Exactly.
They're paying the money, so they want to get Well,
Exactly. It helps out both brands.
well, that's because also the reason they're doing SmackDown the way they are is because Fox is paying WWE a shit ton of money for that content.
Oh yeah, and vice versa. So like you'll get wrestling fans into football, you get football fans into wrestling. It works out for both brands.
That's what you hope for, yeah.
You're never gonna get me into football.
I'm not trying to.
Maybe not you, but I'm just saying in general.
I know.
Well, we all know. Me and Rod are on the same page, and we both know that the Jets suck.
Stop hating.
I love them too, but they're terrible.
Yeah, I know. It was a bad
I
season.
tried to get into football, but
You're being too nice to them, Rod. That was a terrible season.
Yeah, I know. I
That was
realize
almost as bad as the Browns season a few years back, where they won 0 games.
Yeah, I know. I know this is a
We're
horrible season.
Browns bad. We're Cleveland Browns bad.
Only good thing that happened this season is Adam Gase is no longer the head coach, so I can celebrate that. Because that dude was a terrible hire. I didn't like it from day one, and I didn't like it. No one did. It was horrible.
No one did. You watch the first game of the season, you're like, oh, fuck this. Me and Derek watched the first game, we're like, oh, fuck this.
You suck.
Oh, wait.
I don't know what appealed to him.
Are you still talking about football?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. If you're talking, let me just do this. Oh, wait, you done yet?
Oh my god.
He's a hater. It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like football. I don't like sports that much. Maybe karate, maybe boxing, but not football or baseball. Maybe because I liked it as a kid, but I'm wrestling, man. I am like wrestling.
Yeah. But what's crazy going back to that is that like when you see that, that's when the underutilized guys come out. So my point going back to like the whole basketball thing was like, you had Carmelo and Dennis Rodman wrestling, teaming with Diamond Dallas Page and Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
And you have a workhorse like Dean Malenko off the card because you had to throw them on to get the casual audience. It's
or
like,
have a DDP team with Jay Leno to take on Hogan and Bischoff.
And guys like Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero were taken off that card for that.
What about David Arquette?
Don't get me started.
Hey, he made.
Don't even get me started on that crap.
Real WCW champion. What?
Actually, a funny story about that. A funny story about that. They did an interview with Ric Flair about it. Because after he won the title, he went up to Flair. He's like, dude, I'm the champion. What do I do? And then Flair's like, well, how about like later on you go and buy around the drinks for everybody? And so he did that. And Flair's like, wow, Flair's like, he had guys who have been in the sport X amount of years that wouldn't come up to him and ask him that question. So the fact that Arquette did was like, he's like, whether you liked him being champion or not, you tip your hat off to the respect that he just gave Flair by going up to Flair asking him that. Because you got guys who've been in this sport X amount of years who wouldn't have done that with their first titles.
Well, that's because wrestlers have a different pride than actors. Like David Arquette was an actor, but again, the only reason
that was a cool thing. He went up to Flair though, like the women's WCW champion ever to do that.
Because he respected Flair, and I will say this in hindsight, I actually respect David Arquette because he actually does love the business, and he actually did.
He wrestles now. He actually wrestles now
on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Oh God,
he's been on there a few times, and the matches aren't terrible.
No, you gotta explain this to me because I'm watching it. And it's so campy over the top.
It's just
what was that show Renee Young used to host that got canceled on? Like that used to come on Fox. I forgot what it was called.
Talking Smack.
Yeah, the other show. Oh, WWE Backstage.
Oh, Backstage, yeah.
Yeah, he was actually on. Yeah, he was actually on the
I know.
Episode. He did like a promo school episode once.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
I liked that show. It was on. It was fun. I actually like that Punk was on it sometimes.
Punk was on it a bit, yeah. But I got bored sometimes with it. But
I love Punk, so I don't care.
I stopped watching it once COVID hit because them doing it from home got kind of boring.
What happened? What's your question?
Me or Rod?
You said something about championship.
Yeah, I'm watching it, the first match, and everyone was like, "Oh, look at me! Oh, I'm over the top. I'm a bad guy." It was just like, "What the hell is this?"
It's there's hidden gems in those brands, but for the most part, it's really glorified indie guys that are trying to make it, but will never probably make it.
Limelight was the only one I was watching that I liked because I'm
And I had to
familiar with it.
and I had to convince you that Limelight was good. Because at first you're like, "Oh, he sucks." I'm like, "Watch him."
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and then I told you, like, watch him on Strong. Don't. His
Yeah.
AEW stuff isn't giving him justice. The
New
only thing that
Japan
AEW
is
does,
where I liked them. You're right.
because AEW is a hand. He's a hand on AEW. In Japan, he's
Yeah, not everybody's gonna be like the Acclaim to go from like dark and all of a sudden being on feature on what's it? Not everybody gets that Acclaim treatment.
Yo, the Acclaimed are fantastic.
The Acclaim's good because of Max.
Caster.
Yeah.
I still think that would have been epic if they would have had him like freaking have a rap battle with Snoop Dogg. They should have
That
done
would have
it.
been great.
They dropped the ball with that.
That would have been hilarious.
But the problem with that is, when you have a new talent like that, Snoop Dogg would have buried them, because
He would have. I mean, it would have been hilarious though.
would have been hilarious.
It would have been burying him to the point of no return.
But you're killing their credibility as a fresh new team. It goes back to that.
No offense, but it's not like Snoop Dogg's pinning him in the middle of the ring. If Max Caster faces Snoop Dogg in rap battle,
I mean, that frog splash was great though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the most amazing frog splash in the world. That was phenomenal.
Sasha Banks was first to want to say, "Fan, we got to work on that."
Yeah, she said that. It was hilarious.
She's like, "Hey, fan, we got to work on that."
What is it? The stand up and walk splash? Because that's what he was doing. I'm going to stand up and walk and lay down.
I'm too high to be on the top rope splash.
It's me and Snoop D-O double jizzle. Smoke weed every day splash. Yeah.
It was horrible, but
that was rough.
But and I think we talked about that last week too.
Yeah, that was well.
Yeah.
What do you think of RJ City? He was in a feud with Arquette, and I hear his name here and there. I didn't even Randy Orton say good things about him?
About who?
RJ City. He's an indie guy. He worked with Arquette. With him.
Oh, that was the guy. Oh, right. That was the guy he worked with. Yeah, I don't know much about him. I saw the stuff with Arquette. It was decent. Past that, I'm not knowledgeable like that about him.
His name comes up every now and then, though.
No, it does, but I don't know a lot about him. He's one guy I honestly don't have a lot of knowledge on.
Is he a Hollywood guy, or is he a?
I think he was at one point, because I know I've seen him on there.
Oh. Okay.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know a lot about him personally to say like, I don't have a dog in this one. Wrestler? What happened?
He's West Coast wrestler. He's not like an East.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not like familiar enough to know anything. On that.
Apart from that horrible name, that Slice guy, I thought he was a good wrestler.
What'd you say, Jay?
Okay, fine. All right. You could have just said it. You could have just.
Well, I didn't want to say it,
No, we're kind of winding down anyway. I feel like we touched on a lot of the underutilized guys, and ADD the hell out of this. Attention Wrestling just ordered this to death. But we did actually touch on a lot. But if I was actually thinking about it while we were discussing it, we actually stayed on point more than we realized with this one.
Yeah.
Because even though we did our disorder with it, we actually discussed a lot of underutilized talent within it. And
I agree.
We actually stayed.
I'm losing steam anyway, so I'm going to be the fourth. I'm pulling the curtain away. What is it called? The fourth
wall.
Fourth wall. Yeah, Rod's like, it's time to wrap up. I agree. I guess we should.
We covered what I think we had a good run. I think we did good.
I didn't realize what time it was. It was almost like 11:30. So
I was keeping an eye on the time. I figured we were. Yeah, I figured it was.
I'm the reason my daughter could never watch this.
I know you're terrible.
No, we all kind of curse so much on this show, but
we all curse though.
I win.
We're not bad. I mean, we're not like saying like F-bombs every 5 seconds.
I try not to. We know you are.
Oh,
No, it's
So
funny
such a
because
great
like-
influence.
I really try not to curse. It's weird. Like I really try not to curse. Like I feel like there's so many better ways to describe what I want to say than
Unless it's
cursing.
warranted, yeah, I try not to.
I'm sorry, but that's, you know what? I hold my tongue for so long, especially having a younger daughter, and that this is my release. I have to do it.
I curse all the time, so I don't need to curse on here.
On my other
Yeah.
podcast, I do it because that's when else do I get to do it? That's me. That's who I am when I'm not at my day job, when I'm,
No
not
fucks
around
given.
my kid. This is who I am.
Hashtag
Right.
Chuck gives no fucks.
Oh my god. And this is why his daughter can't watch this, because of that reason right there.
Well, also because I'm a degenerate.
Oh, that too.
Dude, I'm a fucking potty mouth. There, I did it again.
Oh, you fucking asshole, you.
Oh my god. You two are a couple of degenerates, I swear.
Thank you. I'm in the degenerate club again.
I'm,
Woo!
That's not a
I'm
badge
glad
of
we don't
honor.
watch. I'm just glad, like we don't do this for little kids. Otherwise, yeah, we'd be getting thrown off a long time ago.
To all the little kiddies who do watch, don't be like us. Stay in school.
Earmuffs.
Listen to your moms. Listen to your teachers. Don't listen to dumb shits like us. You'll be better off.
Oh my god.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at
Oh
home
my
again.
god.
Don't try it. Don't pull this shit at home.
Yeah.
All right. So guess we're winding down. We'll
I think I
next
got to
week.
step in. All right, so next week we'll figure out what we're talking about. But yeah, I think it's time to just say, you know what? It's a good show. We got our points across, and let's just call it a night. And we did our. I don't think we need any more closing final thoughts because it'll take.
I have
forever.
one to the audience.
Okay, go.
Who do you think are the most underutilized wrestlers in wrestling today?
You know what? Put it down in the YouTube comments.
Oh, I'm going to.
Are
Alright.
the
When I post it, I'm
Send me
going
the
to.
link to the page so I can subscribe to it. I don't know if I subscribed to it.
You
Send me
did.
the link to
I saw
YouTube.
you're subscribed, Rod. I checked.
Oh,
it.
okay. I wasn't sure if I
You
wasn't.
did.
I
You're
gotta
good.
look it up.
Yeah,
All right.
we should have a attention wrestling disorder YouTube page because I know
Eventually,
it's
yeah. I'm trying to tweak the one I have that I put them on, but I'm gonna probably just make another one and just post
Yeah.
everything there. I've been trying to tweak the old
Put
page.
your comments down. Who is the most underutilized in your opinions? There
That's
you go.
it. That's
Boom. Later, whatever.
Yep.
it. All right, guys. On that note,
All right.
enjoy the night.
You
I
too,
am
fellas.
Chuck, the hashtag CL5. Chuck don't give no fucks.
I am the Hot Rod 521, not the 1, not the 2, not the 3, but the 4-time ELW Fantasy Wrestling Champion.
I'm the
He's just mad because I
For
got
now.
more than him.
I'm RJ Show, the whole show, nothing but the whole damn show. I don't give a fuck. I just say what I want to say, and that's it.
Oh my god. And with that note,
Boom!
Peace.
ladies, we're off.